In this pool, they already used flocculant twice, in this case aluminum sulfate, and they tell me that it did not settle. So I immediately touch this part that is visible with my hand and nothing decanted. I touch this of the stairs and there are no traces of flocculant either. I immediately measure the parameters. It does not have any chlorine and the pH is low. With the magical Driver Pool app, I calculate 25 parts per million of chlorine. I take water in a bucket, I add the chlorine, I shake it very well. I add it carefully so that no single drop gets splashed on me. I got scared. I shake the water very well. I configure the valves of the equipment to also pass the chlorine through there to disinfect the equipment very well. I turn on the pump. And now it's time to measure the parameters again and verify that the chlorine has risen and what the pH is. You can see that I have a mega superchlorination and the pH also went up, and having raised the pH, this analyzer kit marks the cyanuric acid, which is very low. We tried to get the cute little dog to sit, but he got nervous, so now I'll wait the next day for the chlorine to disinfect the water. The next day, first of all, I feel with my hand and I see that no flocculant decant with the superchlorination. So I immediately measure the chlorine and pH with drops and I see that the chlorine is still high, which indicates that the water is already well disinfected, and I see that the pH is within the ideal range. So I proceed to add flocculant, in this case a double dose of aluminum sulfate, well calculated with the app Driver Pool. I add the product to a bucket of water, mix for 3 minutes and pour it walking along the contour. I shake the water very well so that the product mixes faster, and I proceed to add an extra because it has been shown that the greater the amount of the flocculant, the product works better. So now I let the flocculant sit for 24 hours and the next day, nothing. It didn't decant and the water looks even worse. So we calm down and play with the little cute dog. I measure the parameters and see that has a very high alkalinity. Like this, I proceed to raise the pH with caustic soda. It is a product that you must handle very carefully, so I shake it well, carefully, and add to the contours. Mix what was missing and add it again. While the product is taking effect, I calculate with the app and add granulated trichlor to keep the chlorine level stable. Half an hour later, I measure the parameters and it already has chlorine and the pH is very high, which is ideal. So take the water again from the pool, add another decanter that is liquid and is more powerful. In previous pools, it gave a better result. Again, I add an extra dose. I shake the water, I say 3 Hail Marys, and I wait for it to settle. After 3 days, the vast majority did decant, but not all. I ran my hand along the bottom and you can see that a lot did decant. So, having already tried absolutely everything, it is better to empty it. This is the second case in my more than 5 years of experience with hundreds of pools in which this happens. Incidentally, when we start to want to empty it, the pump makes a strange sound and it is noticeable by looking at the pump cover when the pump is turned on that the water flow in drain mode is less. So I disassemble the multi-valve of the filter and when I see inside, it has a cover in the drain. How absurd! Tremendous factory error. So with a drill, we remove that cover that obstructs the normal passage of water to the drain. Once finished, I reassemble the filter, turn on the pump in drain mode, and now the water flow is great. So now I wait for it to be completely emptied and refilled. And when it was completely empty, in addition to finding other problems, it was found that the light bulb never goes off completely. That is, there is current, which contributes to a theory that I have that when there is a certain electrical charge, the flocculant cannot act correctly. So I will verify that theory. And now that the water is completely full and crystal clear, you have to take good care of it so it doesn't get cloudy again. So with its new trichlor tablets and a quick vacuum, that's it.